Hi everyone, Dani here. Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Today's video is dedicated to mothers. Now, not just those good mothers, but some good, bad, and definitely the ugly. Today I thought it would be fun to go through a few books that I've read in the past and share with you some books that have those good, bad, and ugly mothers, in case you're looking for some motherly love over the next few weeks as we creep on to Mother's Day. And for that matter, happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there, whether you are a bio mom, stepmom, fur mommy, any kind of mommy. Happy Mother's Day. If you're new here, I hope you stick around, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you have come back to the channel, welcome. It is so nice to see you. Thank you very, very much for being here. Now, before we get into all of these mothers, let's talk about a few honorable mentions. Now, these books aren't necessarily in the good, bad, or ugly category, but they do have some others that I wanted to reference. The first being Liane Moriarty's What Alice Forgot. Now, this is a book about a woman who hits her head pretty hard and gets amnesia and wakes up with 3 children that she does not even know. And she lives with them and cares for them and does all of the motherly things, even though in her head it's 10 years ago. So I want to say that this is definitely an honorable mention. A great story. I'm pretty sure I gave it 5 stars, so check this one out. Another one that I thought would be part of honorable mention is The Knitting Circle by Anne Hood. Now, this is about a mother who is grieving the loss of her only child. How does she come out of her grief? How does she continue to live her life? And honestly, it is such a great story. It's memorable and it really just hits you really hard. Now, if you have any kind of triggers against infant death, then obviously don't pick this one up. But the grieving process, finding new friends, and finding new hope was really compelling, and I thought it was a great read. The last one that I'm going to add to my honorable mention is Bunmi Ladatan's Confessions of a Domestic Failure. I love this book. It is hilarious. It's about a new mom. She's about 8 months postpartum, trying to figure it out, and her life is just in shambles. She is a stay-at-home mom. She is not figuring things out. She's used to the corporate world. She is following too many Instagram feeds that are showing her how easy it is to be a mom, and she is just struggling. So I definitely wanted to add that. I've read this book twice. I would read it again. It is hilarious. So if you're looking for something fun and just something to laugh at, definitely pick that one up. Now, on to those good mothers. I picked a few different kind of books to share with you, and I'm going to start with 2 classics that I feel are really great as far as moms go. And the first is Harriet Jacobs' Innocence in the Life of a Slave Girl. Now, this has a mother who actually has to hide in like a crawl space for years to protect herself from slavery, and she has to watch her children kind of grow up during this time without them knowing that she's there. So if you're a mother, you can just imagine how unbearable that must have been. And this is nonfiction. This is true. She wrote this after all of these events, and it's amazing what happens. So that's definitely in the good mother pile. Then we have a epic medieval saga that is a trilogy. If you follow my channel, you know I've read Kristen Lavensdatter by Sigrid Undset, and this is about a woman who has about like 7 kids. in the span of this trilogy. Like I said, it is a saga, a family saga, and we just see Kristen through the ages, having her children, how she raises them, how she adapts to different things that have happened, especially in regard to her husband, but an excellent read if you're into medieval stories and you're into 3 books when it comes to that. So definitely a great one there. Then for something a little contemporary and paranormal, I have The Little Shop of Found Things by Paula Braxton. Now, this is a great read. This has a mother who is actually a ghost trying to save her daughter who is in the past. So we have some time travel here. If you could ever imagine becoming a ghost and then trying to still save your daughter after it's been like 200 years, that's a good mother. So definitely a fun read. This is part of, I believe, a series. This is the first one. Really great read. Like I said, there's time travel, paranormal activity, and whatnot. So a really good one to pick up. Now, the last one for good mothers is a nonfiction read, and that is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Now, he speaks a lot about his time in South Africa and his growing up there, and a lot of this is around his mother and what she did to raise him and make him a good man. And it's so amazing. He's actually born a crime, meaning his father was white, his mother was black, and that was illegal. If you know anything about apartheid and all of that there in South Africa, very much an illegal thing to do. So he talks a lot about his mother, Patricia. If you're familiar with any of his comedy, he has a whole hour-long special kind of dedicated to her and all of the crazy things that she does, as mothers do. So an excellent read. He interjects a lot of comedy in here, but at the same time, you really do learn a lot about his upbringing and just how different it was there in South Africa. So a great nonfiction read if you're looking for something for Nonfiction November. Now, let's talk about those bad mothers. Now, some of you may disagree with me when it comes to like, are these really bad mothers? But I'm putting them in the bad mother category for a reason that I believe makes them bad. And I'll start with a classic. So we have The Scarlet Letter. Now, arguably, Hester is not a terrible mother. However, she keeps certain things a secret from society, which then banishes her from the village with her young daughter, Pearl. And they have to kind of like live on their own. And it's a very like terrible way to bring up a child. And when you find out all the truth, if it even is a truth, all this could have been avoided. Like, so for me, I just feel like even though Hester thinks that she's doing the best she can, I just feel like she could have done better. So that's why I have her in the bad category. If you're familiar with The Scarlet Letter, letter A for adultery, and yeah, she's just not my favorite mother. Going into more contemporary, but this has a triple timeline. So there's 3 different timelines that we're following. This is Michael Cunningham's The Hours, which if you know, this is one of my favorite books. I've reread it several times, seen the movie several times, wrote a 15-page paper for my master's degree regarding Mrs. Dalloway, Virginia Woolf, this book. But this has a specific timeline in the like 50s where mother, it really, what it comes out to be is she's severely depressed. But she ends up leaving her children. She has a young boy, Richard, and when she gives birth to her second child, she basically disappears. She abandons them and for her own health. Now, for me as a mother, I can't believe anyone would want to do that. I understand the reasoning behind it. I understand postpartum depression. I understand all of those things, but for me, that's being a bad mother. And obviously in the 1950s, that is not a thing. As far as, postpartum, they did not know. So I categorize her as a bad mother. And realistically, the young boy who we see as an adult later on too, I mean, you can really tell like this shattered his life. So her actions caused a lot of heartache in her children. So anywho, that is my second bad mother. And you can argue with me, and that is a-okay. It's just my definition. The next two bad mothers, again, you probably won't see them as bad mothers. I'm putting them in the bad mother category. These are both nonfiction reads, and I think people will probably argue with me the most on this next one, and that is Mary Flem Peterson's White Dresses. In this one, we deal with a mother-daughter relationship. It comes from the daughter's perspective, Mary, and her recollection of her mother throughout her life as a hoarder, and a pretty severe hoarder at that. And really the devastating repercussions that this hoarding had on not only Mary's life, but her brother's life and her mother's life for that matter. So for me in this book, I feel like obviously hoarding is part of another mental illness, and really instead of being taken care of or finding help, this illness continued to escalate and caused her to just be a bad mother. Now, Mary, if you know her, she's been a news reporter on like CNN, I think, or other bigger programs. So she worked out in the end. However, a lot of trauma there caused by the fact that her mother just wasn't mentally healthy, and the hoarding really became a huge part of their life and their past. So that's in the bad mother category. The next one that I'm going to put in here is not just a bad mother, but a bad father too. And again, everyone can argue with me, but I'm sticking to my guns on this. I think they're a bad mother. But in Jeanette Wall's The Glass Castle, her parents are terrible. Now, this is another nonfiction read, so this is real stuff, but these parents did not know how to take care of children. They were not properly taken care of. And the mother specifically is just very whimsy and very like artistic and just kind of go with the flow. And when they would get money, she would like spend it all on art supplies and not on like food, shelter, clothing. So for that reason, and specifically one reason, she like has a Hershey bar and these kids are starving and she's literally eating it, like hiding it from them and eating it. I think that is so selfish. So for that matter, she's a bad mother. And you can argue with me, but put it in the comments and we'll chat. So that is our bad mother category. So we've seen the good, we've seen the bad. Now it's time for the ugly. And I can tell you, this one is one ugly motherfucker. And that is Catherine from John Steinbeck's East of Eden. Now, this woman is the nastiest, the creepiest, the most devilish woman. She will lie, steal, cheat, kill for anything she wants. And she also abandons her children. And I believe one of them finds her in some part of the book, but she is evil. She is pure evil. And I wouldn't say this book is about her being a mother, but she is a mother, technically. She has 2 boys. And she's psychotic. She is the craziest, devilish character. You know, of all of the female villains, she is like #1 in my book. She is insane. She will do anything to get what she wants. So she is the ugliest mother. So tell me in the comments, do you have any books where you really feel there are some outstanding mothers? Whether that would be a good mother, bad mother, or those ugly mothers. So yeah, until next time, I hope you are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. And you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.